Hi, JJ here from 22 Explosive Hits. I'm entering a contest for Sakblabbath. Hopefully, I'm saying that correctly. Yes, he's pushing to 100 subscribers, and I subscribed up, and I want to help him get there. So I made the first requirement of his contest. First, I want to say, since he is talking about local stuff, go Bucks, Bucks go, go Bucks go, big time. Final starts tomorrow. They've never been there in my entire lifetime in the NBA, so I am totally psyched for this coming up. So go Bucks, go Bucks go. Giannis, Chris Middleton, my heroes right now. They're awesome. So he asked us to show three American bands. He said something about local as well in there, I think. So I'm going to kind of put a little flair on it. I know it's kind of funny, but the first guy I'm going to show is Phil Collins, and I do have his Serious Hits live record. I love the version of In the Air Tonight on it, but that great guitar you hear on the song is Daryl Sturmer. And Daryl Sturmer, who's been part of his band for a long time and still part of Genesis, is his guitarist, and he's actually from New Berlin, Wisconsin, which is about 15 minutes from my house here. So I don't know how you get more local than that. I know Phil Collins is a Brit, but at the same time, his guitarist, who's been with him since I can remember 79, 80, something like that, since he started his solo career, he's been with him, and so I'm going to support up my local guy. He also, for a while, I don't think he has anymore, but he had a record store here as well, or not a record store, but like a music store for guitars and things like that. So that's my first entry. My next entry is the Talking Heads. Why do I pick the Talking Heads? Again, local. And for doing this video, I always thought Jerry Harrison of the Talking Heads was from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Well, he is technically, but I found out he went to my high school, and I just found that out, like Wikipediaing him a few minutes ago, that he actually went to my high school. So he would have been in class of '67. So he was 1 year ahead of my stepmom, and in the same class would have been as my dad, most likely. So he also would have went to school with Jerry and David Zucker, who are the guys who make the airplane movies and the Top Gun movies. So that was cool to find out. He probably knew those guys very well. Went to high school together. Jerry and him, I believe, were in the same class, and then David as well. But again, to get back to the band, this band is one of my favorite all-time bands. His sound, their sound is always different. I love the uniqueness of him. I love how they are just not afraid to put it out there, come up with something new. They've always been kind of cutting edge. And this album right here is a clean example of it. This is the one that has Burning Down the House on it, the famous hit. So that's what I picked for American band is Talking Heads, which it fits. I think they're all from America, but bringing it back to local, um, Jerry Harrison is from Milwaukee and went to my high school. Now, there's also another local guy that before I show the last record I want to mention, but I don't have anything by him. But he influenced probably about everybody. Is Les Paul. Les Paul is from Waukesha, Wisconsin. I do not own a Les Paul record, CD, or anything. However, when I go to that town, it's right nearby here. My kids went to high school in that town, and there's guitars all over the town. Everything's rock and roll themed because of Les Paul being from there. So he is an important figure in rock and roll music, I think, to everyone. And the last one I picked is, of course, the local band, Violent Femmes. The Violent Femmes were discovered at the Oriental Theater in Milwaukee. Now, when I was little, in about '82, I used to go down to the Oriental Theater. They always aired like second run films, but they do them like in a festival format. The Oriental Theater also had Oriental drugs, and they actually have these really funny T-shirts that say "I got hooked on Oriental drugs." Um, but yes, they were discovered. There was a Pretenders concert, and they were discovered by the Pretenders because they were like a folk band that could play like in the street with their guitars and just a snare drum. And one of the guitarists from the Pretenders heard them and asked them to. They did have an opening act already, but asked them to perform between the opening act and the Pretenders for the crowd because they thought they would get, and they won the crowd over. And so they did have a record deal already, but the record deal was delayed because they got it signed to Slash Records because of their relationship with the Pretenders. and that kind of took off their career from there. My cool part about the Violent Femmes is from listening to all their music, they've kind of really never gone off that folk, kind of edgy music that they always do. However, their first album, this is a compilation album that came out later called Added Up. Their first album was like with the girl looking in the window, Violent Femmes, and that one has Added Up, Blister in the Sun. That whole record from start to finish is like a Milwaukee classic because before everybody knew about the Violent Femmes, we all knew about the Violent Femmes because they performed at coffee houses and they were local people. So whenever they come to Milwaukee, they pretty much joke that they have to play that entire record or else they get like booed off the stage. They joke about that. They're going to play it anyways. I did had the opportunity to see them at Alpine. I've seen them at Summerfest. Great band, very folky, very edgy, very I don't know. It's a very unique sound, that bass that they have with the string bass is just amazing to hear. And the way they blend that in and everything. And Gordon Gaynor is just a unique individual. Let's put it that way. So that's my entry into the contest. I just want to remind the vinyl community, let's bring each other up rather than bring each other down. Have a great day.